Have you ever wondered why a stock will go down and then will just choose a random area to start to go up? Well, I am here to help you clear that up, guys. Today, I want to talk to you about a thing called support and resistance. Let's start with the most important part, which is support, guys. Check this out. The very first sign that you're going to have support is a thing called wicks, guys. And you see, this is the body of the candle, and right under we have these little skinny sticks, which we call wicks. Now, the longer the wick, that means that the better the chance that the stock is going to stop falling. And at some point, you're going to find what I call twin wicks, guys. And that's your first sign that the stock has found support and potentially will reverse. Now, if you're using TradingView, guys, then you mark off your support. One of the things you can do with this support block is just come right over here, guys, and you go over to the style and you're going to hit extend right so that you can remember where the support started in case we come back down. And you can tell here we did hit that support again. Now, one of the things you're going to find is when support is tested and we come back to the same level, okay, that means that as long as we keep testing that area, the weaker the support is getting. And at some point, the sellers will win and the buyers will lose, guys. And sure enough, guys, in this example, you can see that support was lost. We had 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth one, we went to the floor, guys. And that should be a little bit of a rule of thumb for you. After the third try, they're probably not going to make it on the fourth try. Always remember, your support is easy to remember because it's like a floor, and your resistance is the opposite. It's going to be like a ceiling. Now, how do we identify our resistance area? If you remember the beginning of the video, that's right, guys. We are looking for these wicks. And once again, you can see we have multiple wicks, guys. And again, we have 2 candles that look like twins, which means we have found some resistance. And again, guys, now that we've identified our resistance, again, we're going to go into the settings of this nice resistance blocks and we're going to hit extend right. The reason being is because if we're going to trade, we want to know where that ceiling is at for our next trade because it's going to make a difference. Now that you see this, you can tell that we have what we call a consolidation area. So you want to come over and grab one of your nifty tools called a path arrow, guys. So we're going to go from the bottom to the top, and you're going to be able to identify that the stock is going to always go between your resistance and your support. And at some point, yes, exactly. Once again, right, we will test support and you can see that it actually fell down and the stock went lower than expected. Now, in this example, we've already marked off our support box, guys. And again, we're going to go into our settings and we're going to hit extend right because we want to understand every time we see a support area, we want to know that we are challenging that again. Now, when you are trading, doesn't matter if it's during the day or if you're swing trading, you want to have your support and resistance levels marked off. Now that I've found my support, guys, I'm going to mark off my resistance area. And again, I'm going into my settings and I'm going to hit extend right so that I have that level for the rest of the day and the rest of the week. Now, if you take a look at this chart and you can see that that ended up becoming a range for this stock and they continued to go up and down and just challenge each resistance and support until finally they got to a point where they started going a leg lower, guys. And there you go. You can see that they lost the support area because they hit that area too many times. In this example, take a look how many times they challenge this support area, guys. And look at this, total of 7 times. So we come over here and we take our path arrow. I'm going to show you how I would trade this. And this is very simple. This is why you want to know resistance and support. And that means that every time we hit our support, guys, I would literally jump into that trade every single time and wait for it to hit the top of that resistance. And that's when I would get out. Every single time. Look at this. They come back down to support, they pull back, and they stop right at the resistance line. And at some point, you didn't have a trade anymore, guys, because they didn't bounce. Okay. Now, if you like to short, perfect timing right here. Look at this. Okay. You can short and make money on the way down as well. See this? Okay. And so you would do the same every time they hit that resistance area, you're going to short the stock. And sure enough, you would make money too. Now remember, this could be during the day or this could be all week long when you're making your money. Now, if you want to take advantage of support and resistance for your trading career, guys, you want to go to the higher time frame. So I'm going to go over to the monthly and I'm going to mark off my support and my resistance here. Now, if you're working with the monthly, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, you probably don't want to go past a whole year because you're not going to go look back to previous year's support because your stock potentially is never going to make it down there unless something big happens. Now, for this example, guys, I'm going to suggest you use a horizontal line. And for the monthly, I would change that color to white. And I'm going to show you why. So first, I'm going to mark off all the support areas on the monthly, guys. And like I said, I'm not going to go more than an entire year. Right in here, we have September. Okay. So I'm not worried about these support areas because these are my new support areas on the monthly, guys. And I have some good data here. I mean, we're looking at about 6 months. Now, here's one of the things that you want to do if you're going to trade and you want to know what's going on with the support on the monthly level. So you're going to come over here to your object tree, guys, and you're going to see that everything on this chart has been identified. So now we have a horizontal line and the second and third one. So now I'm going to come up here, guys, and I'm going to create a group of drawings. And I'm going to take these horizontal lines and I'm going to move them into this folder. Now, in this folder, I am going to rename it. And I am going to just say, this is my monthly support lines. Okay. Now, here's the cool part about this. I can lock these lines in one by one. And then whichever one I don't want to see, I can turn off. Now, I can do the same thing for the entire month if I want it off because I'm going to be trading during the day. I don't want to see them, or maybe I do want to see them. So let's take a look. So if I came over to the 10-minute time frame and I was going to trade Meta, okay, obviously here I'm not seeing any of those monthlies, but if I did, really simple, I come in here, turn them off, and I'm good to go for my trading, guys. Okay. This is just my suggestion. If you want to save time and not continuously draw the same support lines, come over here and you can hide those monthlies. And of course, you're going to remember white is my color for the month. Now, here is the one that I really love, guys, and that's the weekly. On the weekly, it's very, very crucial that you have these support lines. Now, for this one again, I am going to mark these off, except I am not going to do white. I am going to do my traditional green, guys, and I will mark off every area that is support for me. And what I'm looking for again, remember, is that wick or multiple wicks of actual support. Now, I have a few marked off here, and check this out. If I go over to the daily, guys, guess what happens? It literally just matches up almost perfect with every support area that I have on the weekly. Now, again, I've gone ahead and marked off all my weekly support, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to create a new group. And again, I'm going to rename it and I'm going to call it my weekly support so that I understand what lines belong in here. So now I'm going to move every single line that I just drew out, and I'm putting it in the folder. And of course, I'm going to come over and I'm going to lock all of them. Okay. You can lock them up one by one, or you can just come over to the folder and lock it up there, guys. And then again, you can turn it off or turn it on. Okay. Now, for this exercise, we are going to leave it on. I want to show you how that matches up with your daily on Meta. And you can see that this weekly support literally just grabs almost every single major support of Meta on the way up, guys. Okay. Now, here's the next best part. If you think that these support lines are not relevant for now because we are way far from that support, what I like to do is I like to just turn them off, and I'm only going to keep the last 3 support areas on the weekly. Okay, so the weekly, these are the 3 major. And if I switch over to the daily, of course, it makes sense when I'm looking at it. And of course, I remember that this is my weekly support. Okay, good. So now we have our support marked off on the weekly. Now it's time to start our resistance for the weekly as well. And of course, I'm going to mark this off with a traditional red, guys. And I am going to look for the longest wicks first. Now you have one here and it's okay to mark it off. I am okay with marking that one off. Now, how many do I want to do? Well, that depends on you, how far back you want to go. Like I said, I don't mind going back about a year, guys. Now, again, you have the option of turning these off or leaving them all on. It's all up to you. Here we go. Let me get a little bit detailed here because I like to have these right on the money. There we go. I'm just going to move that up. And now we can come back here. Now, again, we have our folders and we have our weekly support and monthly support. So guess what's next, guys? I am going to create a new folder and I'm going to call it weekly resistance. Now, you can put all of them in the same folder if that's what you choose. I choose to have them separate, and I'm just going to drag and drop all of my resistance lines or horizontal rays right into that area. And it looks like a couple of them did not make it in here, but we'll go ahead and drag them in here. And now we have it, guys. So I'm going to lock them all up. And now I am going to come over to my weekly support and I am going to hide them. So now we can see what we have going on the weekly when it comes to resistance. I'm going to go over to the daily and see how well we matched up to the resistance area. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I would say 6 out of 7 matched up really nice. Okay, this one had a little bit off on that wick there, and that's okay. I will worry about that one if we come back down and have to come back up. I will gladly move this one up, but for now I'm going to leave it alone. Okay, so I'm going to come over to my weekly. Now I can identify all my resistance areas, guys. So if I was charting or if I am looking for what my next play is going to be with Meta. And let's say I come over to the 2-hour time frame, which is one of my favorites. And I look at these areas and I can say, wow, look at this. And they match up pretty good. Okay. I can actually plan out what I'm going to do with the stock. If I say to myself, well, check this out, they have some resistance, but they've also built some support right in here. So then I know 1, 2, 3, they could fall and come down here. Now, how far can they come down? So if I was planning to enter into a short position with Meta, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come over to my weekly support and my weekly or monthly support folders. And this one, I'm just going to turn off the resistance because I already know where it's at. And I'll turn on my weekly support. So I know this is a major support area. So I should not expect it to fall. But if it did, guess what? 681. Look at this green line. 681 will be the next major support. This is why it's super important to have these things. And look, you can have them turned off and you don't have to worry about having all these lines on your chart because I know how it can get and I'll show you how it can get. If I turn all of them on, guys, look at this. Okay, who's going to want to trade like that? And nobody. All right, so this is why this is a beautiful option on your object tree, and learning how to mark these things off is going to be a game changer for you guys. Now, if you found value in this video, guys, and you want to see more videos like this, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you get the alert when the next video comes out. And if you feel that I've earned a thumbs up, guys, hit that like button and please leave me a comment below and tell me what you would like to see on the next video or what type of video you would like me to cover. See you on the next video.